That's good. True
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a chance to chop it up with one of the originals, one of the founding fathers, and
Yes, sir.
today was a good day. Today was a good day. So I don't look. What's that old saying? I don't look like what I've been through.
Did you
It
ask
was
him
a
to be
very
on the show?
interesting day. What?
You didn't ask him to be on the show?
Oh snap! I didn't. But you know what? But you know what? I did a good job, I guess, because the coach for the team asked me to come back and do it again, and his daughter's on the team. So I will probably be running into the brother again, and I will ask him to be on the show. That's a good idea. So stay tuned because there may be some interesting guests coming your way. But yeah, that's what happened to me today. So
did you give him condolences?
Say it again.
Give him condolences.
I did. I was like, yeah. So, brother Ecstasy, he was like, yeah. I said, rest in peace, and I did offer my condolences.
Very good.
Thank you. So, yeah, it was a good day. So now that we have Uncle Percy looking like that's his profile picture for his law website.
It look like you want to sell us some insurance.
That's the LinkedIn profile.
Uncle Percy looking like a state official. Okay, Uncle Percy. So let's get straight to it. So I am man enough to admit when I'm wrong. Last week I trashed WandaVision, and I trashed it good. I called it slow. I called it uninteresting, and I doubted Marvel. I am happy to say that I was wholeheartedly wrong. Absolute. What does he have someone grabbing some woman's breast?
Because that's Marvel. That's Marvel. That's Marvel. It's appropriate.
Okay. Yeah, it caught me off guard. Some hand coming out of nowhere grabbing some woman's breast. But WandaVision went from 0 to 100 in a matter. I can't even say it was the whole. Nope, it was the whole episode, because from the very beginning of the episode, it was like, oh snap, they're going there. So I doubted Marvel. Marvel, if you hear this or see this, and I know you won't.
No, forget Marvel.
I apologize.
Can I pull a Percy? I was right. Yes, I was right.
Okay. You may have been right. Because
I hadn't even seen the episodes that y'all saw, and I told you, I said, be patient. I mean, one thing we know, Marvel knows what they're doing. Just give it a chance.
You were right. Okay, but you got to admit, DJ, those first couple episodes were booty.
No, but see, I'm a grumpy old nerd, and so talk about, doing the whole Dick Van Dyke, and then going to Bewitched, and then going to Brady Bunch, and looking for the Easter eggs. I mean, you saw the Easter eggs and stuff, and I mean, kind of, giving you a little clue that, she has created this. I mean, me watching the episodes, I can tell that she created this, and when something went amiss, she fixed it, especially when it was something that, looked real world, and she was trying to keep this facade going. So, I kind of roll with it, because I was enjoying, like, the little, they took the time to, have some fun with the old sitcoms and stuff and fit them into it. That was kind of cute. But I know you don't like cute, so,
But, that was aggravating to me.
Go ahead, Roy.
No, I was agreeing with you. I said that was aggravating to me.
Whatever, man.
Yeah. Because okay,
I would be remiss if I didn't tell you to bless the bottle, so I get started. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm gonna just put this underneath the breast so he can tap it with the hand. There we go. All right.
Because that there's a hand grabbing a breast on the screen. So, but you've got to admit, it was beginning to wear a little thin. That whole, old TV sitcom thing. Okay, so yes, we all recognize Dick Van Dyke. We all recognize the Brady Bunch. We all recognize Bewitched. Okay, that's fine. That's good. And they even with the Bewitched episode, like Bewitched, like throughout its run, it went from black and white to color. So then all of a sudden the episode switched from black and white to color. Okay. Sometimes you can be too cute for your own good. And I didn't find those episodes particularly funny. You know what I'm saying? I wanted, you know, because, and again, Marvel has given us enough sweat equity so that we don't necessarily need like backstory on these characters. We already know where they're coming from, what's going on. And this is supposed to happen like immediately or somewhat soon after Endgame. So we know Vision's dead. We know something creepy is going on. We know Wanda has created this world, this facade. That I guess we need to know why. We need to know who the Grand Master is because and heavy spoilers because we do that here.
Milk is chilling.
Right. We know that there's another force behind Wanda who is creating this. So, and you know, the message boards are all over the place about who could possibly show up, who the main villain is, because we also know that this series leads directly into Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. So are we taking bets as to what MCU character is probably going to show up? Who we'll see? I saw, I was on TikTok and I saw someone said that Tobey Maguire was supposed to show up this past episode. And I messaged Roy and Percy like, Tobey Maguire coming. You know, under the premise of the whole multiverse thing, I was so completely off base with that. So who do we think is going to show up just from the main MCU universe, or will someone from the main universe show up?
No, this is going to be a situation where they're bringing new people in because we know who the villain is already. They've already told us who the villain was prior to, or who the actual antagonist of the show is. It's Mephisto.
Are we sure about that?
Yeah, because that's the one thing that I guess that they're supposedly pulling from and I guess I shouldn't be doing this. I apologize, everyone. So, yeah, hey there.
We thought you were pulling on Nicole and just wanted to be safe.
Right. She probably heard you. She's supposed to be logging in now too. But yeah, you know, we already know that that's supposed to be Mephisto. We already know in the comics that those are his kids. That's why the whole thing that it happened the way that it did so quickly. And remember, I think I was mentioning that one thing last week that one of the guys who did the reviews of it was saying that's why and Mephisto was supposed to be a manifestation of the stork. That stork was supposed to be a manifestation of him. That's why Wanda couldn't remember she was trying to get rid of the stork?
Right.
When it was walking around. That's why she couldn't get rid of it because it was him. And then the one black dark-haired lady in the town is supposed to be from the comics. She's actually a mentor for Wanda. So, you know, they're doing that. Now, what I did hear or see as a speculation of this situation that was very, very interesting and would be super dope is they're talking about there's a possibility that Magneto is going to make an appearance.
Now, that would be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would that be dope? Explain to me why that would be dope.
Because that's her daddy. And then it'll be the introduction of the mutant. Remember, Wanda technically is a mutant. And so, like I was talking to Rick about it, you have to remember, they never said that the Mind Stone gave them their powers. They always said that the Mind Stone revealed their powers.
Revealed whose power?
Wanda's.
The twins.
Wanda's and Pietro.
Yeah. I have a particular theory that's really in left field, but I'm gonna say
left field is what we do, you know.
So I think that with the introduction of the multiverse, that Quicksilver comes back. Now, the Quicksilver that comes back isn't the one isn't Aaron Taylor Johnson who was in the Avengers. It's the Quicksilver from the X-Men films, Evan Peters.
Mephisto, aka the devil.
Yeah. But I think that with the introduction of the multiverse and different dimensions, I think that they'll pull Quicksilver in, but it's the Quicksilver from the X-Men films. So that lends some credence to there being different universes. You know what I'm saying? It helps kind of bridge that gap between the main MCU and then Doctor Strange and then the Doctor Strange sequel that's coming.
But do you honestly think they'll switch it over that way? Because as opposed to being more of like you said, bringing the one that they had in Ultron back.
I do, because that again, that could be, you know, with the opening of the multiverse, anything is possible. I mean, with in the new Spider-Man film, they're bringing in, but in the new Spider-Man film, they're bringing in Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, right? And Jamie Foxx and Alfred Molina.
But why not bring back her brother, the Pietro? Uncle Percy must be in a meeting. He listening to us, but he switching out pictures and stuff, so he got to be paying attention.
Percy wants to be a producer on the show now.
When did they say what, Rod? Rod asked the question. He said, "When did they say that? Which that are we talking about? Here come Nicole."
Here goes, and we need a picture of her.
I'm sorry,
so we can at least see something other than just her name on the screen.
She got to do that for her. She got to do that for her end.
She told us she was gonna have her hair done.
Oh, there she is. Okay.
I'm here.
Auntie Nicole, thank you for joining us.
Hey. Thanks for having me.
No issue. We enjoy having you. So Nicole, right now we're kind of checking out like theories about I say that they're going to pull in the Quicksilver from the X-Men films to kind of open up the whole multiverse thing.
Mm-hmm.
Roy says that they're going to bring in Magneto. So Roy, when they bring in Magneto, who's it going to be?
Well, my assumption is that Fassbender is it. I mean, he's done him and what's your boy? They played Xavier.
Charles McAvoy.
Yeah.
McAvoy, yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I don't know why it wouldn't come out. I think they have redefined those characters, and because they're bringing them in, they're going to have to bring in the younger versions of them. You're not going to be able to use Patrick Stewart and the other old dude. I'm sorry, because you got to do some stuff that can do some things here, and maybe this is part of the situation where they can use the snap and the whole thing with the Infinity Stones. Yeah, as the thing that triggers the mutant X gene in people to be inside of their timeline. Because we all remember they have the story about Magneto becoming Magneto and all that from the Fox thing. But what better way to separate yourself from the that old Fox garbage and just say, hey, we're gonna do all our own stuff, and so we're using the blip as that because it, like you said, what was the thing? Rocket said it multiple times. When they did the snaps, you're talking about cosmic energy on a level that has never been seen since the start of the universe. So that gives you that ability to create that such and such, that situation where all these people are now triggered and their stuff is done. So.
Well, you know what? They also mentioned in this latest episode of WandaVision that the radiation that's being emitted from the bubble is that cosmic scale, like Big Bang type energy.
Yeah.
DJ, now, Auntie Nicole, I want to save you for last because you're always the voice of reason. DJ, what do you think that we're entirely off base? Do you think that they're going to bring in somebody from the MC universe to, blow people's minds, or what?
Yeah, because like I said, I get where you guys are coming from as far as the first 3 episodes. You wanted it to be the first episode and then, go from there. I get that they stretched it out too long for you, but now that they we are fully realized, into the Marvel universe. Now we've got, the girl, the scientist from Thor, we've got, all of this going on. People are showing up.
Jimmy Woo.
People are showing up. So, you know, now I'm figuring, because as we know with Mandalorian, what was it like? What is it going to be, like an 8-episode run before they go to the second deal? Is it something like, it's usually
it's gonna be like 8 or 9.
This will actually be 9.
Right.
9, I
so
think.
we at the halfway point. Now it's just gonna blow up from here. It's gotta, you know, they're not gonna lose people. So now they're just gonna be throwing, you know, they're gonna be throwing it at us now. You know, because we gotta have what we don't have yet is a true antagonist and a plot. Like what's, you know, what happens from here? You know, this is all set up. But now it's like, you know, this is the last 4 episodes. We got to get some meat. You know, it's now steak and potatoes time. You know, so I'm looking forward to what's going from here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Since Uncle Percy has been relegated to Photoshop job today, Auntie Nicole, bring us home. What is your perspective?
I mean, right now, I think they're gonna start. I mean, at this point, we're in the answering questions point of the show. So I think they're gonna still keep up with the theme of the different you know, generations of TV shows and stuff, clearly, because they keep showing it in the previews. But I think now we recognize, like, say for instance, in the last one, when you saw Vision, when he got the babies at the end, if anybody noticed, Vision kind of broke the fourth wall. Because remember, when he was sitting there on a sofa, it was like he was looking dead at you. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, yeah. Vision was like, okay, something is wrong here. You know what I'm saying? She don't want to leave. She don't, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So I think now they have no choice but to start bringing it home. It's going to be like conflict and whatnot. So I think right now for this first season, we're going to be looking at more about the straining of, like, say, Vision trying to understand, okay, what the hell is going on here? He's going to be hiding his feelings and stuff from her or what have you, you know what I'm saying? So she doesn't blink and erase his memory again, you know what I'm saying? Because he has to recognize something is wrong. He's losing time. But I think if they're going to bring in a major character right now, it's going to be whoever this missing person is, who is probably going to tie up quite a few of the loose ends. And whoever's, like, say, whoever's helping them with creating this whole universe. Personally, the guy that's, I forget his name, the one who's now over Sword, from where Monica Rambeau was supposed to be in charge, the guy that met up. But think about it. She shows up to this job, you know, that she has with Sword. So her ID card works for her to get into the parking lot and everything else, but it doesn't.
Right.
Uh-oh. We got Nicole got a freeze on us there for a second.
She'll be back in a second. She'll be back in a second.
Auntie Nicole got that grumpy old Wi-Fi working. That's okay.
She's just buffering right now.
She'll come back. I'm going to answer Rod's question. No, if you go back, okay, Nicole's back, but let me say, if you go back and listen to the comments that they make about Scarlet Witch's and Quicksilver's power, they never say that the Mind Stone gave them their powers. It's always referenced as it revealed their powers. And that was, and another piece to that is they will remember the question they asked. It's like, well, we wonder, why did they survive? And the why did they survive was going to be because they were already mutant. And their mutant gene is what helped, you know, push them through those experiments that Hydra was doing with the Mind Stone.
Now, see, what I would love to do, I'm just real quick. What I would love to see is when the X-Men, the Professor X's machine, when it shows all the mutants. I would love to, like, go back and look at an Easter egg and see if Wanda and her twin brother were ever revealed on that map of all the mutants in the universe. You know, if they ever showed a picture of her
in the world, yeah. Well, you know what that is, but see, no, it wouldn't. Remember, that was Fox. That only Marvel does stuff that innovative and that forward thinking. Fox was dumb.
This was Marvel. I'm talking about in the movies.
No, all of the X-Men. Remember, They have yet to make a Marvel X-Men movie. All of those X-Men movies were Fox's.
Fox.
Oh, those are all. Oh, okay, all right.
So the rights just reverted for all the Fantastic Four and X-Men. All those properties just reverted back to Marvel.
Just for the record,
I mean, they did an Easter egg about that. Just not when if you asked me in episode 4, that was one of the Easter eggs where if you ask me, it almost as if when they was at Sword, it was like he set it up when he talked about what they were doing now with AI and everything else and everything and Interstellar and so on. To me, that was the setup for Fantastic Four. Because now, remember when Monica Rambeau sat there and said, when he was talking about, a lot of enemies out in the, universe, whatever, and she said also a lot of, people to allies. You know what I'm saying? So we're not talking about just Captain Marvel. We're talking about Fantastic Four. We're talking about all of these different people.
Can we also just?
I was going to ask you, what's up with Rambeau?
What do you mean?
Who is she?
You know what I didn't realize? This is the same actress that starred in Chirac.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that neither.
Now I saw it, and I regret every moment that I spent in front of the screen watching that. But she's a very good actress. I'll leave that alone. Right. Yeah, Mrs. Nerd is in the next row.
What you wanted to say? Actress. You know what, Nicole? Just cover your ears for a second.
Okay.
I mean, never mind. Yeah, she's a great actress. So anyway,
get forward.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate Marvel's storytelling ability, though? Because, like I said, I was wrong. These first 3 episodes were pure setup, and then the gut punch of the opening of episode 4 was just like, oh snap! She was gone and came back. And her mama's gone, and we got to see the ramifications. In watching the Avengers films and, maybe even Spider-Man Far From Home, you kind of get a sense of what happened when people came back from being gone for 5 years.
Right.
But with episode 4 of WandaVision, you actually got a personal account of the madness and chaos that would happen when half the population has disappeared, and then all of a sudden 5 years later just comes back.
I got a question about that. Real fast. There was something I was watching, and they made a comment saying that when Hulk did the snap, his snap was to make the people come back, but make sure they came back safe. Is that correct?
I'm sorry. You said Hulk?
Hulk
did the snap?
Yeah.
Yes. His snap is the one that brought him back.
Right.
Your memory is all the way gone, man. What's happening? Come on here.
Well, I drink a little bit.
But I'm trying to understand, because then that means that the universe can be manipulated, like that whole thing could be manipulated in such a way, because and I'm trying to understand if that's the way I'm understanding it. The way, however it was when he did it, it brought people back, but made sure they came back so that they wasn't like dropping out of planes and getting hit by cars and so on like that. Okay.
Exactly.
But see, think about that though, because in Spider-Man, when they showed them bringing people back, I mean, granted, because when people remember when they got snapped out, there were people in airplanes.
Yeah.
They showed in Spider-Man, they showed the kids in the gym popping back in while they were in the middle of a basketball game.
Right. And that's what I'm saying, because that type of manipulation is huge then. So, you know what I'm saying? To be able to not just bring them back, but make sure that there's like a variant to make sure they come back safely. So with that in mind, think about this whole universe that WandaVision has created. She is doing something bigger than probably, it would make her stronger than any other, not just mutant. She's like a mega level mutant at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Kevin Feige has actually said that she is the strongest Avenger.
Yeah, but also you got to figure, okay, all she did was create Westview. Like the sheriffs was talking about, well, we know about Eastview. We're from Eastview. There ain't no Westview, So she created her own little pocket. I mean, the town couldn't have been more than, what was the count? The
3,000 and something. It was like 3,000.
Yeah, it was like 3,000. So I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you know, she wasn't like bringing back the whole world or universe. She was controlling, and she couldn't even control it. I mean, she's only strong to a. I mean, my perspective is that she's not that strong. You know, she's strong, but she could only, first of all, create that that town of about 3,000, and she couldn't even maintain it, you know, totally, because they're able to get in. You know, things, you know, where the stork came in, the you know, Rambo came in, and you know, the helicopter came in, and all these things that she had to kind of fix. So her powers, you know, we kind of saw the limitations of her powers, you know, in that area. So I think she is powerful, but only to a certain extent. I don't think she's like worldwide power.
I have a question.
Well,
okay, just real fast. Okay, tell me how I'm understanding this part. This is the only main part about the show that's really bugging me out. So are we looking at a town, Westview, where the people are real and their minds are being manipulated and the town itself is real? Because when Monica Rambeau and Wu was standing outside the town, that town looked dead. It looked like, you know, the buildings was old and everything. But when you're in the town, everything looks brand new, nice, and, you know, well kept and so on like that. So are the people either that they're being mind manipulated and they're in this town and this town actually exists and everything like that? Or is this a situation where these people are like, might be dead even, and she's, because at one point I heard a theory that she could be laid out somewhere.
No. Remember, okay, she created the town. So you're outside of it, you can see it, you know, but remember in the 4th episode, they're literally putting people, you know, up on the board. Okay.
They know who the people are. Right.
Yeah.
Right, but are they real? Are they dead or are they alive?
No, these are real people.
These are real people because they put them up on the board. Here's the driver's license for this person. This person is an insurance agent. This person is a such and such. Now I can't wait to episode 5, now that they've identified these people, to see why, you know, where she got them from, like what's her connection to them, how she brought them in.
Why are they in the town? Right.
Right.
Well, let me just add this a little bit as well. Everyone in the town is being manipulated, but Agnes and the brother, because they had this conversation as if they knew what was going on, but they're just scared to say it.
Everybody knows something's going on, though. If you ask me, I think everybody in that town knows they're being manipulated somehow.
No,
I do.
I think that those are the only two that, well, at least from what it looks like. Now, Rod actually made a point that said she didn't create the town, that it already existed. Let me read it. I want to read it. He says, she didn't create the town. Once you get into the town, your perception of the town is distorted, which is true because of where they're doing it with the whole time frame with the TV shows. Because if you look at the drone that they sent in, and then look at what it looked like once it got into the city or into the town, it was completely different. But it was warped to fit that 1960s field look.
Or even the sword agent who they sent in, his lifeline turned into a jump rope, and his suit, his hazmat suit, became a beekeeper costume. So you got, whatever happened? Did he get shutted out too?
They never showed what happened to him. They never showed what happened to him. When she said no, that was the last you saw of him.
The town does not
Whoever's
exist.
manipulating her rewinded the show. Remember, she said no, and then she rewinded it. Whoever's controlling it rewinded it, and then that was it.
Okay, everybody's saying that the town existed already, but like I said, at the very beginning, when they showed up, when Rambeau and the sheriffs were there, they said there is no Westview. Like that's what
the sheriff said.
Right, they said there was nothing here before. Like we you know, this is our area. Like we patrol this area. There was nothing here. I mean, they said that from the very beginning.
But see, like that would be a huge that would be a huge, like, say, kink in the whole plan. I'm almost thinking that those cops might have been, you know, what they call them, witchcraft glamored or something like that, because
they may have been Mephisto's creations.
right,
saying,
like, because I'm trying to understand, like, why would you let something like that go back out into the world and be like, okay, there's this town that wasn't there before, and because it would bring along all kinds of news people and all kinds of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So to me, it would be like
I'll give you that.
Yeah,
I'll give you that because Sword, I mean, the FBI agent didn't do shit, but Sword definitely would have been like, no, we gotta like flash these motherfuckers, you know.
Men in Black, absolutely, because something is, because to me, it's like you wouldn't even want something like that out, even if it wasn't even Sword, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm thinking.
But wait a minute. Then again, I'm sorry to cut you off, but then again, I mean, at this point, that Earth has seen pretty much everything at this point. Like, you know, with the Avengers, you know, I mean, shit's been coming out the air, out the sky, big, you know. I mean, they've seen
on a consistent basis.
Yeah, they've seen a lot. At this point, they've seen a whole hell of a lot. It's like, oh, hey, we called y'all because we think this is your kind of shit because, you know.
Absolutely.
Can I make one point real quick in the fact that Uncle Percy looks like Thanos right there?
Oh my God.
Percy, snap your fingers, bro. We only got 4 people watching us. Can you double it?
Percy sitting there with that scowl on his face, like he wants to just snap us all out of existence. Okay.
Hey, so wait a minute. Let's go back to something that y'all bringing up about the Fantastic Four, because you know they've already dropped the Easter egg for the Fantastic Four. They did that in Ant-Man. Remember, that little city, the Quantum City, is supposed to be where the Fantastic Four were. So that's where it's interesting to me now that all of a sudden we're putting all of this stuff. Oh, the Fantastic Four are going to get their powers from this too. That all these people are coming up with this. I'm like, well, what the hell happened to the theory? That was the whole city thing they had, and they showed it. And Marvel, remember, if you remember, Marvel itself made a point about, remember the Quantum City that Ant-Man passed by. The quantum realm. Like, there was a full-blown city down there. And so, you know, because I think that was one of the things that I remembered hearing, is that they were going to try to stay close to the timeline of the creation of the Fantastic Four, meaning they were going to pull them back from the 60s. So they were like, that was going to be the thing. And the question was going to be, well, where have they been all this time? And the answer was going to be that that's what they were in that quantum city.
Okay.
So, okay, here's, I guess, the ultimate question. Marvel has so much, I think I'm frozen. Marvel has so much content out there. Am I frozen? Can you see me?
You're good.
We still hear you though.
Okay, Marvel has so much content that's going to be coming out within the next 4 or 5 years. It can't stay at this level of greatness, can it?
Yes, it can. I have faith.
Well, I mean, think about it. You had a couple of different things, because remember, when they was talking about, I guess if you're going to include Hulk, for instance, they were saying Hulk didn't make the money that they wanted it to make. You know what I'm saying? They said right now the initial single most important movie was Iron Man. So, you know what I'm saying? After that, then you had, you know, the rest of them with the whole combination, everybody, the Avengers and stuff like that. But I mean, I think that as long as the imagination, as they keep the storyline going, you know, because I think at this point they're going to have to end up being like Star Wars, where they have to start taking from the books, you know what I'm saying, and building those storylines that haven't been on film.
Did you guys see an article, and I meant to forward it to you guys, or at least reference it, where they were saying that, you know, from this point forward, Thor 1 and 2 don't even exist. Like, you know, Thor Ragnarok is like the true, like they're gonna like basically go from there. Like Thor Ragnarok, you know, the new Thor that's coming out is going to be like Ragnarok, you know,
Love and Thunder, yeah.
Like, yeah, it's gonna be like they're gonna go from Ragnarok. Like Thor 1 and 2, other than introducing the doctor, the scientist that we have, Kat Demmings, who figured out the TV and all of that. Other than bringing her into it, the other two are like insignificant. Ragnarok is where we're gonna go from.
And that's saying something, because the only real dud that Marvel has had was Iron Fist. Everything else has been met with universal acclaim, to be honest. And we're talking about at least 20 different properties,
right. Including Jessica Jones, including Jessica.
You see, I'm snapping. You see, I'm snapping.
Okay, so
see, I'm snapping. Thanos is snapping. Jessica Jones. Yeah, okay.
Aside from our own personal opinions, everything else for the most part has been pretty solid. So we're looking at a batting average of fucking 990, because it's come to, Iron Fist. Say what you will about Jessica Jones, say what you will about the Defenders, say what you will about Ant-Man, or maybe even Doctor Strange, but those have all been successful. Iron Fist really is the only one that has just flat out not been successful.
Hey man, as long as Rosario Dawson has a job, that's all I give a damn about.
Okay, well,
you know what? James made
I don't know how Marvel keeps doing it, and there's got to be a valley at some point where they just fall. They gotta fall off. I mean,
why you want to jinx us? Why you want to jinx us?
But they already WandaVision takes place in 2023, right? It's like just 3 years or something like that. Is how they're doing this. They're not pushing it that far. So we're looking at.
Well, no. Remember, WandaVision is taking place immediately after the snap, because
right. And I think the year is 2023, if I remember correctly, or something to that effect. It's something like.
John.
We about to have a fight. It's about to be a fight up in here.
Ron clarified something. The Inhumans was the other flop.
Somebody mentioned the Inhumans. We about to be a fight.
Yes. No, Inhumans was trash. You're absolutely.
I never even actually watched it. I never even watched it.
Hot garbage. And so,
I never even got around to watching.
You're right, Rod. You're right. You got me, Rod. Because that Inhumans. I think Gus is the only person on the planet who liked Inhumans. The only person.
I've never seen it.
Hey, so James he had a comment saying that he thought that the quantum realm is where Kang was from, and if I'm not mistaken, isn't Kang the son of the Storm and Richardson?
No,
he's not. Are you sure?
No. Yes.
Who's their son?
Franklin Richards, and he's considered the most powerful mutant on the planet.
But I could have sworn you see, John. Now you're gonna have me looking something up.
Okay,
that's fine.
Kang has some connection. I know that Kang has some connection to the Fantastic Four as part of his origin.
Mm.
Okay.
So just to confirm, let's see. The year 2023. Okay, Monica returns to her job as SWORD 3 weeks later, officially placing the start of WandaVision around 21 days after Endgame.
Right.
So it is 2023. So I don't know how they, I guess they got to keep the timeline up from us, maybe. I'm not sure why they did it that way.
Okay, I don't know if this is true or right, but as far as Storm, the only husband they have for Storm is T'Challa.
Yeah.
And they say that Azari and Chimera are the son and daughter.
Okay, we're all over the place right now. So, let's Uncle Percy, you're going to comment on this too. Let's switch to they put out a new trailer for Coming Back to America. Past about a day or so ago. I was so looking forward to Coming to America.
Me too.
And then I saw this trailer. And my heart sank.
Oh, come on.
Really?
Come on.
Yes.
Oh man, yes. I got it. Oh man.
Yes.
I saw it Coming to America in the theaters.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're all old enough to literally say we were in the theaters for Coming to America.
Yeah.
But
Coming back to America. Coming back to America.
The new trailer, shows a lot more of Tracy Morgan and Leslie Jones's characters. And
buffoonery. The buffoonery. Wow. Oh my God.
And it's just not. I mean, DJ, you've seen it. You give us your take on that new trailer.
Oh man.
You want to play it?
Yeah, let's play it.
Oh my God.
Let's play it.
Yeah, let's play it.
All right, let me make sure that this is it here that I'm pulling up here, and then we will do that.
Please, let's make sure we're not violating anybody's rights by playing this.
No, that's public. You can play that.
No, yeah, this is out there. So yeah, this is okay. Yep, this is it. Hold on a second.
Okay.
So let's keep talking about it.
I got me scared now.
Well, okay, so you asked me about it, and I don't want to prejudge anything, you know, that we do as Black people without giving it benefit of the doubt, you know. So that being said, I like Leslie Jones and Tracy Jones. I mean, they're both.
Morgan.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you know, pretty much. You know.
Jones. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. What was his character? It was Tracy Jordan and Tracy Morgan. That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, Tracy and Leslie are both over the top comedians.
Right.
And I normally don't like that personally, but yeah.
And I feel you on that. All I can say is what's throwing me a little bit is you know, how they're throwing in that the king. You know what? I'm sorry. I gotta back up, because as a man, Queens to the club. You know, I kind of would think that at some point, maybe, you know, his loins was, you know,
well,
you know,
okay.
I'm just saying at some point, you know, before he found his wife, before he found old girl, you know, at the community hall, you know, they went to a lot of clubs. They met a lot of women. Even though Arsenio Hall, Simi, said that he hadn't had sex in 2 weeks, how long were they in Queens? Was it 2 weeks? Was it 2 months? How long were they actually in Queens? Like, is that actually established?
Roy, go ahead and play the trailer.
Oh wait.
Is that the Warriors? That's the Warriors.
Hey, what you doing back here?
Say it again.
I just discovered that I may have a son here in this land.
How much child support is she getting from?
The king pays no child support.
No child support for 30 years and you came back? You was a dummy.
Hello, I am Hakim Jaffer, king of Zamunda. You are the heir to the throne. Yes, my son.
He's supposed to be like the prince of Wakanda.
Wakanda is a fictional place.
Not to everybody.
Zamunda is a very real nation.
I don't need no handout.
Wait a minute.
All right, I'm gonna pack. Okay, baby.
Presenting King Hakim's son from America.
And my mom's.
And his mom's.
Children, this is your brother.
Hey, Quine. I'm sorry I slept with your man.
This happened before we even met.
It's not like you're the first man I've ever been with.
What did you just say about the other men?
Coming to America, now it's coming to me.
I always thought that Mika was going to be queen.
A woman isn't allowed to rule Zamunda. It's the law.
Did it ever occur to you that Mika wanted to be your heir?
Would you dare banish me from my own bedroom?
How you doing, Hakim?
I'm getting it from everywhere. I have upset my family.
You must be strong.
And General Izzy would love nothing more than to take over Zamunda.
Raise it higher.
I'm a king,
Put your hands together.
Like that.
Say it again.
Give me all.
It's a party over here. I must admit, your style is foreign to my kingdom, but is impressive.
That's right.
There you go.
Let me hear you say, hey, ho.
Hey, ho.
No, don't do that. That's his mother.
Oh, don't you say that.
No, not to his mother.
Almost ready to become a prince.
Almost. It is time.
Ceremonial circumcision.
Bring forward the royal machete.
Machete? They're gonna sharpen you too, nephew.
Coming to America, now it's coming to me. I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king.
I'm sorry. It's not the trailer. It's you motherfuckers looking like y'all looking.
I'm sorry. It's just
somebody wake Percy up.
If I just wanna make sure that when it comes out, I can be on the same Zoom call with y'all watching it at the same time. Because I'm just gonna die laughing, watching y'all watch.
Gosh.
That's what I'm gonna have my fun.
So,
oh my God,
you can say that my concerns are founded now.
No,
they got a lot going on though. It's like it seems like a lot
there's
going on.
Right? Exactly. So okay, come on, they cut shit up, they put it into a trailer, they take it out of context. But I mean, any movie that we've seen, Boomerang, Harlem Nights, the original Coming to America. I mean, if you put it into certain clips and you only cut certain shit, you look at it and go, you have to put the whole thing into context. You have to put the whole thing.
I get it. But I mean, it's like, when you think about it, the original Coming to America was, in essence, it was adult but clean. You know what I'm saying? It didn't deal with too much of the whole, whole stuff and everything like that. So I know they got to do it for today's generation. But even today's generation, they're a little smarter than that. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. But
oh, absolutely.
It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's like they seem to, I don't know. It's like they're taking it and they're really trying to make it more slapstick as opposed to it being just that comedy we had. And I think that's what's going to end up probably changing some people's minds on the movie. I don't know. And again, it could just be the way the trailer was set up. I don't know, but I can't say that I was a big fan of it, because I like, what's her name? Leslie Jones here. Lisa, what's her face? The chick here from SNL.
I got you.
She, but she's, like you said, it's just, her comedy is more, laugh out loud, slapstick, boisterous type, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not a big fan of it at all, but we'll see.
Well, here, let me say this real quick. From a nerd perspective, the other thing is Coming to America was directed as I don't know what people's perspectives are on the man, but Coming to America was directed by John Landis. And when John Landis directs Eddie Murphy, he reins everything in. He gets it on the right, page. John Landis has done an amazing job of bringing out, the best of Eddie.
But see, John Landis does a lot more with his prosthetics and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He's like a good art person.
He's a very good director. He's a very good director.
But
yeah. I agree with DJ. I think, thinking back over John Landis and Eddie Murphy projects, John Landis has a way of making the subtleties funny, as opposed to this big bombastic thing. And with Leslie Jones and Tracy Morgan, you can't be subtle. They're going to put the comedy right there in your face.
Yeah.
And they want you. I mean, I guess I'm agreeing with Nicole in that, and DJ in that this film, it was R-rated, but it was a sweet comedy. It was a sweet romantic comedy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at a time when Eddie Murphy wasn't quite the whole, just yelling,
And the only problem I can see with this one so far is that it was directed by Craig Brewer, who was responsible for Hustle and Flow and Black Snake Moan.
And my name is Dolomite is my name.
And yeah, and even though now I loved Dolomite Is My Name. I loved it.
Yeah,
I did. He
I haven't seen
pulled
it.
it off.
Yeah,
he pulled it off.
At this point, the only redeeming value I see is Wesley Snipes. To be very honest.
Yeah, yeah, but it, like I said, depends on how they do it. It really depends on how they do it.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah.
Let me get this straight.
Uh-oh.
So he already has a daughter, right?
He's got like 3.
Yeah, apparently they got 3 kids.
Three.
Clip.
He got 3 by the queen.
Yeah.
Right. And then he has supposedly have a son in
by Leslie Jones.
And
by
Queen.
Leslie Jones.
Right.
Well, I got a feeling it's going to be something like a Dr. Dolittle 2 kind of bullshit.
I mean, you know, here's my thing about the storyline that they did. Because I think I agree with Percy. I think this is where, like I said, I've never been a big fan of over the top comedy. I don't know why. It just doesn't do a lot for me.
Right.
You would think about it when you look at, and this is just based on looking at who he chose. Looking at Sherry Headley, isn't that her name?
Yeah.
Sherry Headley, yeah.
Yeah.
You could have gave Tiffany Haddish the gig as being the queen, the chick that he slept with. Leslie Jones just don't look like the type that Akeem would have been rolling for. I'm just sorry. I mean, you know,
you're right. You're right. He would
like if you look at her, you like, really, dude? You know, I mean,
or he could have got with Peaches. My name is Peaches, and I'm the bet. Go ahead.
Just somebody to me, somebody who.
Wow.
I'm not a big fan of Leslie Jones's comedy. I like some of her stuff.
It's going to be a whole slapstick of stuff going on, and then at the end of the day, he's going to find out that the DNA test don't come back, and he's
not the father.
He's going to have to make a decision, and then he's going to give it to one of his daughters, and that's going to be the end of it.
Well, no, I don't think they're going to do that, Percy. I mean, and see, that's another problem with it now, because now that they put the trailer out, to me, the story is like, oh, it's going to be. I already see where the story's going, at least in my opinion.
They have to accept the son, you know what I'm saying? It's like the sisters. It sounds like there could be some tiff between the sisters and.
See, I just don't like it because Shuri's going to become the Black Panther of Zamunda.
Okay, and so the son is going to be like, listen, this isn't what I'm supposed to be. My sister's been raised for this her whole life. She's been preparing for this. You know, let her do it. I think it's going to be one of those, the daughter thing. He's going to change the law. Like, aren't you the king? Can't you do whatever you want to? You can
exactly. It's foreshadowing. That's what I'm saying. That guy, the kid from Queens is Killmonger, and the oldest sister, she's Shuri. Shuri's going to become the queen.
See, we the first date my sister and I have been on since the doctor separated us.
We were supposed to have that Wakanda discussion because Ryan Coogler got that contract.
I don't think he's gonna be true son. I think he's gonna be like Arsenio's son or some bullshit like that.
There you go.
I would take that too.
Percy, that's a solid plot point. I think you know what, Percy, you're right.
He's gonna wind up being Simi's son.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Maybe. What's the reason why? What's her name is the mother is because maybe she's the chick that was sitting there talking about how she was almost single. Her husband was on death row.
Yes, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. That Simi. Okay, in the trailer they show Akeem growing after Simi. Remember, he was choking the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And I think that's when he finds out that it's really Simi's son, and he put him through all this bullshit, and it's actually his son.
Well, Rod actually just made a point. He said, I'm supposed to believe that he slept with Leslie Jones' character and didn't remember it.
Well, you know, some things we block out, you know, especially.
I know that's right.
Gosh.
I mean, I'm God bless you, Leslie Jones, but yikes.
Wait, we gotta talk about Ryan Coogler. We cannot leave the show and not talk about Ryan Coogler's deal.
That's an impressive contract he got.
So give me the details, because I didn't read about that.
Basically, it's like a TV show that they're going to do, and I think it's like for 5 years.
He has
5-year contract
deal with Disney to set up the world of Wakanda.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Impressive.
Good for him.
Absolutely.
Impressive.
I mean, first off, to say Disney, yeah, sure, you're gonna write me a check big enough to say I'm not gonna take on any other projects outside of yours. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It's that actually is a pretty wide span, because if it's not just Marvel, it's Star Wars and all these other properties that he can dip his toes into.
That's what I am hoping. And to all of y'all who talk about Shuri need to be the next Black Panther, kick rocks with flip flops on. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
But you did hear that they're talking about, what's her name? Was Nyong'o, Nikita Nyong'o. They was trying to say that there was a thing I was watching. They think that maybe she may be the next, like, up and high. They said that Shuri, even though Shuri, that's kind of like her claim to fame per the comic books, they don't believe that that's going to be part for the movie, so to speak. And they think that she is going to be maybe the one that's going to kind of be running things a bit.
And that's fine.
Here's one of the things that people keep forgetting. If you look at the original cartoon that they did, Shuri actually was older in the comic books and in that cartoon than she is now. And she was actually fighting for the title. They had that whole system. And see, this is the other thing. That whole battle system thing, that was something that they started in the comics and they brought it over into the they started in the cartoon. I don't know if it was in the comics with the challenge deck. And it's like, so she was actually in the cartoon, that original cartoon that they did on BT, she was actually the one fighting in the ring first. And it ended up being her and T'Challa, I think, were the last two. But there's no way that Shuri is going to beat M'Baku. She ain't gonna beat none of them other challenge people that was put up in a straight up fight. It's just not even. It doesn't even make sense for people to think that she's gonna physically be able to match up to those guys at this point, because you can't.
Maybe they'll do something different like they did, and like when you look at what is it, the Star Wars thing. Remember when Bo-Katan, they was going to give her Mandalorian was going to give her the dark saber, and she didn't take it because they said they had to fight for it. But in the animated series, they gave her it and she took it. She accepted it. So they may change it to however she need. If they do decide to go that way, they could change it.
I think they're going to miss out on way too much if they don't let they bringing first off what do we always say? The comic books nobody's ever really did. We never see them bury Killmonger.
No.
We can always say that T'Challa was like, listen, the reality of it is he was within his legal rights to do everything that he did. He did not break the law. Let us bring him back and embrace him into the community and hopefully change his heart in this situation. And it's like, one, because here's the other thing. Remember, they ain't got no more heart-shaped herbs. So T'Challa and what's his name were the last two with him. Because your boy burned them all.
My only thing about making Killmonger, I don't have a problem with Killmonger coming back. But if I hear you correctly, you're talking about Killmonger becoming Black Panther?
Yes. That's what my thing is. I think they need to figure out a way, because there are options in how you can bring him back. Because what I think a lot of people are missing with Shuri's, this is the main reason. Shuri's development over the next two phases of the MCU were going to be huge. I guarantee you Shuri was going to be the leader of the Young Avengers, because she was going to be the only one out of all these young people who had any real training to do anything, to do any type of leading. And
the young lady who's going to be in the Hawkeye series, Hawkeye is training her.
Yeah, but she's still not going to have the level of training as Shuri, though.
But
okay,
Shuri's.
So let me ask a question.
Oh, come on, Thanos.
And I go back. Speaking of Thanos, I'm going back to the end game. When Black Panther came out, what was the timeline? Was it
what?
before? Was it when Black Panther came out and Killmonger died? Was it before Endgames or it had to be before Endgames, correct?
It was before Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they
that's my
snapped,
point. We never
going back
actually
to
see
snap,
Killmonger die.
right? So how you gonna bring him back? That's my question.
No. So
how you gonna?
I hear what Roy. I hear what Roy's saying that he never actually died, and because
point out, we could say he never actually died, or
I was going to say because of the technology that Wakanda had, is it possible that they put him? I mean, even though they pulled out, they put him in some kind of stasis. But okay, my question is, what about Okoye? The chick,
a guard.
Yeah, she's a guard, but what if Shuri, what if there was some kind of rule where Shuri would say, you know what, Okoye is going to fight for me?
Like a Game of Thrones, Tyrion.
Yeah,
and,
right. Yes, exactly. And what now, who's going to beat Okoye?
But you see, I don't know, because it would have to be somebody that would, if that's the case and she's going to fight, it would have to be somebody else that is going for the throne.
Well,
and Okoye is not interested in going for the throne.
Yeah, well,
no. He's saying that.
Oh, I know. I mean, I'm sorry, my bad. But yeah,
that Okoye would be her stand-in for the battle. I don't
see
think
Disney showing a man and woman fight. I'm sorry, it's Disney. I don't see Disney doing that.
I got one for you.
Come on,
I got one for you. Okay, here we go. Killmonger had a son. And he's in New York.
So Killmonger is coming back to America.
Going to Africa.
He had a son that they didn't. He had a son
coming back to Wakanda too.
Right. He had a son, and he had a son that nobody knew about.
I don't think the world is ready for too many black princes fathering all these children in America.
Well, why not?
Hey.
They only got so many people that can dress up at the movie theaters.
Kevin Garnett had about 27 of them.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
But see, but okay. When are we going to have like a serious discussion about Black Lightning and the fact that this is going to be Black Lightning's last season?
Here we go. Every time somebody bring up Black Panther, you got to bring up Black Lightning.
Yep. Because I think Black Lightning is a quality show, and everybody's so up in arms about Black Panther.
Black Lightning was 102 years old.
What is that, Velvet?
we gotta give Black Lightning some love, right? Or maybe not.
Hey, this is where y'all gonna lose me, because I don't know much about Black Lightning.
I was coming around the corner and I said, "Hey, Black Lightning," and he punched me in the chest.
Okay, well, I'm the only Black Lightning fan on the show. Okay, I'll take that.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back because I want to agree with you. I think that I am totally pissed, because you remember what my comment was when they first started the show. I'm like, I'm gonna be highly pissed if we don't get a bare minimum of 5 seasons out of them. They're giving him 4 seasons and cutting him off. When you drove damn Legends of Tomorrow out as long as you did, and you telling me you can't get. Yeah, Rod's coming in to join the show. He got some stuff he want to say too. We got a couple other grumpy old nerds coming in.
There we go.
But yeah, John, I'm with you 100% on that, dude. I am so pissed that they're not giving him more of a show than they did. That's some real bogus stuff.
Hey, what's going on, Rod?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Hey, Rod.
All right, man.
All right, you gotta come up a little bit, bro.
There we go.
There you go. Look like a grown ass man now.
No, I had to put another phone book under my butt, man.
Is that what it is? Oh, okay. All right.
Oh goodness.
The grumpy young nerd. There you go.
There you go.
So what do you want to comment about most?
Man, to be honest with you, okay, Roy, I know you don't want Shuri as the new Panther, but
tell him, bruh. Spit it out.
Yeah, I mean, like she is, man.
She's
I
gonna
don't
be
even
the new
understand
one,
why
man.
Roy is so mad about that.
She's
No,
gonna be the
because
new
I mean,
Black
she
Panther.
does eventually become it in the comics.
But-
So I
but
mean,
wait,
she does. You
They
know,
don't have,
that's
but
not now
Disney,
though.
well,
That is
Marvel,
not. Here's
Marvel don't have that
here's
time. They don't
No,
have that
yes
time.
they do. Yes they do.
No, they
Here's
don't.
the deal. This is the thing y'all have to remember. Remember what was the whole when they initially started talking about Black Panther 2? What was the whole theme of the movie? Two kings. It was supposed to be about. This is that whole building up, and the fact that he died. Like I said, and this is I think what people have to remember. They're not and they said it. They're not recasting T'Challa.
right?
That doesn't mean that there won't be another male Black Panther. Shuri is not old enough in the MCU base right now to be what she becomes in the comic book. She is not old enough for that shit. Shuri
But
is
but we don't know how much time passes until the next film, though.
Right.
No, dude, come on. This is Marvel. He's gonna have to be engaged or Wakanda, and that's what I'm curious about. How are they not gonna? Because the next film comes out 22 now, or did they push it to 2023?
Hold on. Never mind that. In the Marvel in the MCU story timeline, Shuri was like what 18? Let's say she was 18.
No,
when
I don't think she was that old. I think Shuri was because he kept calling what's his name kept calling her a child.
Okay.
My thought is that Shuri was around 15 or 16.
People keep calling 18
she wasn't no 15.
Okay,
No.
you know what? I can bust this wide open. I can bust this wide open. Let me tell you right now, I can bust this wide open. Roy, if Shuri was played by Gina Torres,
she'd be a grown ass woman.
And she'd be Black Panther. You'd be okay with her being Black Panther?
She would be grown if she was played by Gina Torres.
Okay, so here, listen to this then. It says, while more claims Shuri is 16 in Black Panther and so on, the junior novel and Letitia Wright both state that Shuri during the film is 18. So she would be an adult.
Thank you.
In the film.
Okay, so after the snap, she's 20, 18, 19, 22.
Right, because and it makes
go.
sense because remember, WandaVision takes place in 2023. Okay, so remember, that's what is it, 3 to 5 years or something like that?
Well, but remember, Shuri got snapped away.
It was a 5-year period.
She got snapped away, so she came back.
She's still 18, Roy.
She's still 18. Y'all are missing the point, though. It's not about the fact that her age being that young. My point is she's just young. She's too young.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
and one other thing, that is not all of the heart-shaped herbs were not destroyed because they grow out. They grow out in the wild. They just leave them there for ease of access.
There you go.
They grow out in the wild. They just have to go out and find them because they grow from the irradiated soil from the vibranium.
So you're right. That makes sense that they're probably still more around.
Yeah.
But and I'm telling y'all, and I think y'all are saying y'all looking at this the wrong way with me. I'm saying that Shuri should not become the Black Panther now because I think that they're going to lose out on a lot of opportunity to develop her character over the course of the next few years and get her to the point where she becomes that primary leader to be able to do some of the stuff. I'm not saying
if she wins let's say she wins the tournament. You have Okoye as her mentor right there to teach her how to rule. And
that's right.
And Ramona.
That's right.
I just don't see her being that's one of the biggest problems. I mean, I don't see her beating M'Baku. I mean, in a fight. I mean,
like I said before, I don't think they're going to have a man. Disney won't pin a man and a woman together. That's just going to be something just visually, outside of her actually winning anyway. You see how Black Widow, when she fights the guys, there's no choice but for her to win because they can't have like that kind of fight, knockdown, drag out fight like T'Challa had with M'Baku. So
who's to say M'Baku would challenge?
Right. I mean, true.
Wait, you really don't think he would challenge for her to stop her from becoming queen after the comments he made?
He could have ruled Wakanda before.
No,
he could have ruled Wakanda before, but he didn't.
Right. And M'Baku.
What do you mean he could have?
In the first in Black Panther, they were going to give him the heart-shaped herb and make him the ruler of Wakanda.
And he said no. And he said
no. That's because T'Challa was alive.
Yeah, but I mean, he wanted it at first, but then he realized, you know what? This guy is a better ruler than
He became an ally, yeah, because he didn't want to fight with them, and then he
That doesn't
decided to
mean that
fight.
that doesn't mean that he changed his opinions on this, on, as he put it, this child and her technology ruling.
Unless the child and her technology saved the country.
But
So,
right, and people
let's pull this all together. So the choices, or for us right now, we're looking at to take over the title of Black Panther. You've got Shuri, you've got Okoye, you've got, I say M'Baku could be a candidate.
Okay.
Roy says Killmonger's coming back.
Right.
I think he just likes looking at Michael B. Jordan or something.
Don't forget about
There's another character I heard them speak on that wore it was a similar Black Panther suit, but it was a different character, and he masqueraded around like Black Panther. I think it's going to be some kind of maybe something with misdirection, but it was like someone that was masquerading.
That was you're talking about in the comics, Nicole?
Right, and I'm thinking they may bring that to screen.
You know what? I want to say that the field is so wide open. I want to say no, but the field is so wide open at this point that Marvel, and as I have learned, if I could bring this all the way back around to the beginning of the show, I have to trust that Marvel will do something that may be off-putting to begin with, but will actually eventually make all the sense in the world. Just looking at WandaVision and what they did, because again, I thought WandaVision was trash. And now after the fourth episode, I'm just like, all hail WandaVision. So, we have the obvious choices, but who's to say that they don't bring us a curveball?
Wait. I just thought about something. Wait a minute. Hold on. I just thought about something. We are ignoring the fuck out of a brother, and we owe him an apology, because the only reason that he didn't challenge is because I guess, he's best friends or whatever with T'Challa at the time. We forgot about the brother, Wakabi.
Wakabi's husband?
Wakabi's in jail.
Right. Right. No, but he never challenged.
No, they are not. They didn't do anything wrong.
No, but I'm saying Wakabi never challenged, but he is within his rights.
Anybody of royal blood. Anybody of royal blood of any of the tribes has the right to challenge.
Exactly.
So they can pull multiple characters, because there are 4 other tribes. So you can get those 4 other tribes that can come up and say, okay, because what I'm thinking, and because of the fact that we know that Namor was supposed to come in, I'm hoping that they use the storyline where they start off and then they maybe just adjust it. Where Namor, there has been a point where Namor put a hit out on T'Challa. So, because we already know
Wakanda with a tsunami.
Huh?
He flooded Wakanda with a tsunami.
That's right. That was another thing that he did.
Yeah.
So, but he literally had a hit put out on T'Challa. So that could be how they officially write his death into and out of the situation.
Well,
because it's going to have to be something sneaky. Because it's not like you're supposed to be able to sneak up and just wreck the Black Panther like that. So
right. Well, I just thought about another thing. One of our friends, Cindy Denise, she would, definitely. She would back up the fact that when it comes to marketability, when it comes to an actor who is bankable, that's how she, we argue about James Bond and who's bankable to be the new James Bond and this, that, and the other. Anytime she talks about a new movie coming out and who's going to be the new actor, she always looks at the bankability. And the fact that the actor, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but it's Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay, so he's got the brand new HBO Max release of Fred Hampton.
Yeah.
So he, and depending on how big that becomes, he's at least he's knowable, he's marketable, he's known, and the fact that he was pretty much parallel to T'Challa as far as, you're the son of royal blood. I'm the son of royal blood. I mean, he's at least a possibility.
Yeah, that is true.
Can
Hey,
I
Roy,
bring something up?
that's what I was gonna ask. Did Marvel say that they weren't going to recast T'Challa for Black Panther 2 or recast him at all?
They're not going to recast T'Challa at all.
At all. They said that, no CGI, no nothing.
You know what though? I'm the initial shock of Chadwick Boseman dying. Okay, I get that.
I don't think that's wise.
I am now rethinking that because and hear me out with this. I really think that John David Washington would be a good replacement.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was always against them not recasting T'Challa's character. I was completely against that.
Listen, man, people die all the time, and people get placed in roles.
So I got another one.
Oh,
okay.
Lord.
So, no, listen now. How did his father die? His father died. He went to the World Trade Center, and he was about to give a speech, and it blew up. That might happen to him. That could happen to him. He might was doing something and he didn't know what's going on. He didn't have.
First of all,
have we thought about the fact,
not the World Trade Center.
Yeah, but they can figure out a way to kill him off. That's not the issue.
Yeah. But have we thought about the fact that they may not even go into trying to replace, say, for instance, the King of Wakanda? It's going to be more about an adventure of something happening. And that's why you're going to have Okoye in the group and his sister Suri and Nikita and Yongo. It's going to be something to where it doesn't necessarily have to be that they're trying to work on a king. It's going to be something like a different type of storyline.
Okay.
Well, we got to, and I get you there. Here's another thing that we got to think about. That I honestly, and it's just sad that of course we're all sad that we lost Chadwick Boseman. Mm-hmm. But I honestly think that because of his death, that was part of the catalyst or at least if it wasn't the catalyst, it was the thing that pushed it over the top of Coogler being able to get this 5-year deal with Disney. Because they're going to have to explain, that's part of the thing, because Black Panther, I mean, anybody that talks about all these different people, all the different stuff, Black Panther is an integral part to the next, he was like key to the future of the MCU. He's part of the Illuminati. He's part of, Wakanda right now is the most technologically advanced nation on the planet. It's like all of this stuff that was tied into Wakanda. And for them to say, like I said, that's why I was like, to say that you're not going to recast that character was was a bad move to me. I didn't think that. And that's why I think they're going to use the multiverse thing. And if they don't pull another, that's why I said I think they're going to pull another Killmonger in, even if they do it through the multiverse.
Is it my turn?
They have to.
Is it my turn?
Come on, DJ.
All right, Roy, look at it this way. At the end of Black Panther, who did T'Challa have standing next to him when he said, I bought that building, I bought that building, I bought that building, and we're going to, teach these kids about, Wakanda, and we're going to introduce ourselves. Shuri was standing right next to him and saying, hey, this is what's next.
Because he's going to lead the science outreach. He was sending her away from Wakanda.
Okay. We're going to wrap this up real quick. I want to hear
one more.
Person.
I got one more.
No. We're going to want to hear each person.
One more.
I want to hear each person's take. Who do you think? And then in two, no person. We're gonna come back.
One more.
When the Black Panther sequel comes out.
John, he frozen.
One more. I'm snapping. Snapping.
Look, I'm about to snap you.
One more.
What person?
I'm just thinking with Falcon and see, I just forgot my God damn it, John. With the Falcon and Winter Soldier. When that show comes out, do you think that might parallel to
the Wakanda?
Parallel to what?
I think that's what he wanted to say before he froze up.
Yeah, parallel to Wakanda, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
No.
I think that's what because he's already tied to it. With the Winter Soldier being tied to it, I think they will do some stuff with that. So.
Okay, so thank you for that person. So each person, give us in the sequel who is taking the throne of Black Panther. Who will be the Black Panther in the next movie? DJ.
I think Gina Torres, but that's just me.
Lord Jesus have mercy. All right, Roy.
I mean, no, you know what?
Don't back up now.
No, I want it to be Killmonger, but I don't think they're going to do it. Yes, I do. I think they're going to find a way to bring Killmonger in to be the next Black Panther.
Of course you do.
Percy.
The kid in the basketball court when he landed talking about I bought this building, I bought that building, that's Killmonger's son.
That's not even what I asked. Nicole.
I don't think they're going to focus on who's going to be the next Black Panther. I think they're going to be focusing on an alternate story within Wakanda.
Okay. Rod.
Okoye is going to train Shuri. Shuri is going to win the tournament. She's going to be the Black Panther. I like John David Washington, but he's too short.
Wow. but
I mean, one thing to say, Tom Cruise.
Wait, Rod. See Tom Cruise, okay?
Right. That's what Roy just said.
I like Rod's theory. I have to admit, I think that sounds pretty solid. Or if they go through that multiverse thing, John David Washington could be the Black Panther of Marvel Universe, whatever. But I hope that Uncle DJ and Uncle Percy are happy. The show has run ridiculously over. Y'all got your wish today.
Yeah, baby.
We actually went on a rambling streak, unlike anything we've done before.
Bonus points.
And, it was bonus. Just fun. It's a lot of fun.
True fans of the show got bonus content, but as with all good things, if you've been rocking with us from the beginning, we thank you. Hope that you come back again and again for more tomfoolery. And
why are you so quick to cut us off?
No.
Wait a minute. It's only 8:55.
If this is your first time,
we got 5 more minutes.
If this is your first time, we appreciate you. Please come back for more tomfoolery.
You're not asking what we doing in our lives. DJ, what you doing? DJ, what you doing?
Come on. Do you notice how no one but Percy and DJ are being ridiculous right now?
No, it's not ridiculous. It is 8:55.
Do you see
Central Time?
How Percy and DJ are being ridiculous right now.
I drank 2 cups of coffee to stay up for the show.
We're done for the day. I would like to thank Uncle DJ, Uncle Roy, Uncle Percy, Auntie Nicole, and please come back whenever you feel like, Uncle Rod. And as we discuss this nonsense and Percy starts snapping his fingers. Jesus almighty, have mercy on our souls. Thank you all for rocking with us. We appreciate you. Come back, same bat time, same bat channel next week. Peace and blessings. You all take care.